Welcome to the Nerd Party.
They can travel anywhere in time and space.
Off we go into time and space.
So all of time and all of space is sitting out there.
Welcome to Time and Space, one married couple's adventure through the Doctor Who universe. I'm Jessica Nunn.
And I'm her ever-present companion, Phillip Gilfus.
Ever-present. When do I get to trade up companions?
Well, I think you have to regenerate first.
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't think that's always the way it works.
But mostly.
I mean, you know, the 11th Doctor didn't have to regenerate to move on from Amy and Rory and get Clara.
Right, but he had to be the Doctor for a while. And then he was really sad.
Oh, speaking of which, today's our anniversary, sweetheart.
Is it?
It is. Today is that. No, you made that. You said that like it. Now it sounds like all of this is scripted, and it's not at all. Go ahead, tell them which anniversary it is, darling.
Of July 16th?
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
See, this isn't actually scripted, but it sounded like it was. Today is the day that you and I got Quaker married.
Oh, yes. Too much chagrin.
To be fair, getting Quaker married didn't cause the chagrin.
No.
It was when later on we tried to get actually married and...
You mentioned the Quaker married.
Yes.
Yeah, we went to a, historical reenactment festival to do. And one of the things was, what was it? It was Quaker
it was,
spelling bee?
You could either go to, it was all in the same room, and you had a choice of doing a Quaker spelling bee or a Quaker marriage. Mm-hmm. And I'm really bad at spelling. So,
right, and you had to Hamilton tickets still over my head.
Yes, I did have Hamilton. We weren't even engaged at this point.
No.
We didn't get engaged until October. But we got Quaker married. Mm-hmm. We have the contract somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. It's somewhere, though.
Yeah.
And, because we do need to get that framed, because that's funny.
Yeah.
And, and then when we actually went to go get our
went to the
marriage
Register
license,
of Deeds, or whatever you call it in your state, and, one of the things that's like, oh, have you two ever been married before with each other, or done anything, like that? And I was like, no. And she's like, yes, Quaker married. I'm like, oh, God.
And they did have to...
Talk to the lawyers.
Yeah, they did have to go out and check with their supervisor and things like that. But then after they came back in and said, okay, it's all right here, we've got your marriage license applied for or whatever. And then we went out to pay the cashier, and the cashier who knew me went, oh, I should have known it was you in there.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
And we instituted one of the first rules.
Yes, one of the first rules of our relationship.
Never joke in front of the legal proceedings.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I've not had an opportunity to do it again, but I'm not making any promises, I'll be honest. It makes me nervous. I become all Chandler-like, and all I can do is make bad jokes.
Now, this is actually our first recording, I think, drinking.
Is it?
Yeah, why not? Because we both have a glass of wine.
We are having
second or a third, depending on who's counting. But anyway.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Philip's trying to cheer me up. I'm having a grumpy day, so he poured me a glass of wine and made chocolate chip cookies. So,
well, it goes with wine.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, ladies and gentlemen of the podcast sphere, that's why I married this man. Twice.
Twice upon a marriage.
Twice upon a marriage. There you go.
So we, or I/we, because it's a marriage, came into some money through. It's like one of those Monopoly cards.
It really
the bank
is,
in your error, please collect whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so got a few extra scratch, and so ended up going ahead and buying our plane ticket. To Galley 1.
We got 2 plane tickets.
That's true.
By the way, they won't let me sit on his lap. I don't know why that is.
But anyway, so yeah, and we're excited, and we're going to fly in the Tuesday, I believe.
Yes.
And then you had already gotten the Marriott reservations for that Wednesday, and so when I was using, I don't know, we're not shilling, we don't get any money for it, but Orbitz, and I was like, I wonder if I can get the Marriott for Tuesday, and I could. So we may be in the interesting situation of checking in Tuesday and then Wednesday morning switching
on Wednesday. So. Yeah. Which means that there may very well be like a 3 or 4 hour time space where
we're homeless.
We're homeless, yes, in LA. But
now I am trying to figure out how to pack stuff already, because I think, Jessica, you really experienced what it's like to be married to me when I opened a package recently.
oh yes, yes, I did.
I got something from Amazon, and because it was a cosplay idea I have, which I think is awesome, and I'll be previewing at Galley 1, because I'm like,
Are you really? You're going to make me spend 4 days with you in that costume?
One day. I already have another one. I have 12th Doctor.
Oh wait, do we have to do a different costume every day?
You don't wear the same costume every day,
oh,
darling.
Gosh.
What kind of... Oh, boy. But anyway, yeah, so...
no, darling, I was hoping we could take one suitcase so that we don't have to pay 2.
Because the 12th Doctor one, which I think it's really hard to make it look like 12th Doctor, if I don't look like Peter Capaldi, thankfully, I want to say. Because I'm not that old. But anyway, so...
oh, is that all you're going
Well, he
with?
has more hair than I do. I'll grant him that.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it's just... which I think the 12th Doctor is just rock and roll, and so I think it's just cool to wear, because will just look... But anyway, so...
You're going to get hot, though, wearing a hoodie and a coat and all of the things.
But I'm going to preview that at Fayetteville Comic Con this October. And then, but for Galley 1, what I also wanted to do was Captain America Jack Harkness. And so... You always want to know what I get in the mail from Amazon. And so I put on my Captain America mask helmet and walked in. You're like, oh, what'd you get? And then you had the face.
I did.
Of I married him.
Reader, I married him. He has a crazy wife locked in the attic, but I married him anyway, yo. Yep, that was definitely my face.
Though the one thing about that, I'm probably going to have to shave for that one, because I think I look funny with a beard wearing that.
I mean, you don't look funny with a beard. And I think, to be fair...
They're always like, why are you with Jessica?
No, darling, you know that I don't even know. I'll explain that later to you. In the most recent Avengers...
That's true. That's true. But he didn't really wear the helmet, because of course, he had given up being Captain America.
Yeah, and we don't want to mar that pretty face.
Exactly.
So
anyway,
yeah.
But anyway, it's just
something to think about.
Yeah. No, but my trouble is, how do I pack up Captain America's shield? Thing's hard to pack.
I think it'll fit in the big suitcase. Okay.
But we also are going to buy things there too. So.
Oh man.
Does Galley 1 do shipping? Anyway,
we're gonna have to take 2 suitcases, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, we'll find it. So anyway. Those have been our more or less Doctor Who going-ons.
Yes, and also, and you don't get to see this, but I think I've mentioned it before, my husband, Phillip, tends to decorate before we do a podcast.
That's true.
So we do currently have, sitting right here, in between us on the sofa...
One of the good old Type 40s.
A TARDIS that, needs a little
dusty,
bit of dusting.
Well, now I'm trying to remember where I bought this. I mean, it doesn't matter, I suppose. But I think it was Chicago TARDIS. I just remember having it at Chicago TARDIS for the first time at convention, and which is actually in Lombard. It's a lie. It's not in Chicago. But anyway, and so I think that's where I bought it. Of course, this was years ago, because I only went there once. But yeah, because I remember I had an Amy already figure, and maybe the 10th Doctor or something. I can't remember what I had by then. But anyway, I remember TARDIS, now I can fit them into it. So
there you go. It is a dollhouse for your baby dolls.
Exactly.
Perfect.
It's bigger on the inside.
And it's bigger on the inside, so they'll all fit in. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. We all need that sort of storage, let's be honest. But I have to say,
we probably, for Doctor Who people, we don't have, this is the only TARDIS thing we have an ornament, right, on the tree.
Yes.
Did your mom got us, actually?
Yeah, maybe.
Or did we get it?
I don't remember.
Anyway, because that's a recent one. That is last year. And that's really it. We don't really have TARDIS. I mean, we have Doctor Who stuff, but we just don't have TARDISes all about.
Yeah. And to be honest, our collection, we just have a shelf of Doctor Who stuff where we have a whole...
6-cube
We have a 6-cubed shelf, and we have a whole room for Star Trek, for your Star Trek stuff. So.
I think with Doctor Who, again, I mean, the way I collect stuff, whether it's Star Trek or Doctor, I mean, it's not just for the sake of getting something. Though sometimes
It really is, guys.
Though sometimes, I get things like, ugh. But I mean, I want them to look good, right? So, when the Doctor collection, they're not all 100% like I would like. But I mean, it was the whole thing when I got it. So like I wasn't going to say.
Yeah.
But so I only get stuff that I think looks good and decent. Like I have a Dalek egg holder, which I would get if no one wants that. That was actually a gift. That was it was actually from the Starfleet, the official Starfleet International fan club, whatever. One Christmas they did sort of a gift exchange, which I think is cute. And so that was what I got.
Cool.
So yeah, anyone wants a Dalek egg holder?
Yes, it is.
Is that's what you call it? Egg holder? I don't know.
Egg cup.
We don't really do egg cups in America.
It's an egg cup.
So anyway, so if you want a Dalek egg cup, you are more just hit me online at NC Public Servant on Twitter. And it is yours.
It's currently sitting right next to my adipose.
Yeah.
Fun. All right. So after 30 podcast episodes, is that what we're on? We're on 30.
This is 31, right?
This is 31.
Congratulations.
Ooh. It's time to talk about the character who's been in Doctor Who since the beginning and never missed an episode in over 50 years. That's right. It's time and relative dimension in space, TARDIS. She changes every now and then, but what do we know about the Doctor's stolen vehicle?
Yeah. I just think it's a very broad topic, so this will go either really short or really long. You never know. But, I think it's interesting because she does seem gendered because it is called she all the time.
Yeah. But, that's like any ship, isn't it?
That's true. And I remember, what was it, one part, was it in Twice Upon a Time? When the 12th Doctor remarks to the first Doctor, I remember when we used to call it a ship. Because it's very classic, the ship.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what made
me
think it, yeah. And that you always refer to a ship in the feminine way.
But she does have some characteristics, even if it's beeps or blorps or whatever noise.
Some of those noises she's not supposed to make, River Song tells us.
And then, of course, she's actually come on screen once in an episode, The Doctor's Wife. We actually see her in humanoid form and able to talk and all that stuff.
Slightly crazy.
Yeah, well.
But you would be, wouldn't you?
Yeah, mad woman that is the box.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, what do you think of the idea that the TARDIS is a character?
Oh, I think the TARDIS is absolutely, we see it over and over again that she sends them where she wants them to go.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't always like things, and don't we see, isn't there something in the 8th Doctor movie about looking into the TARDIS? And
well, it's the Eye of Harmony.
Right,
that's
but isn't there something else as well about the TARDIS?
Maybe it's a second.
Yeah, sorry, might be making that up. But yeah, very much a character. Mostly a strong silent type.
That's right.
But occasionally pops up, and it's absolutely perfectly logical for her to be making decisions.
Yeah, but big personality.
Yes, and bless her heart, always seems to get blown up at each regeneration. So.
That's true, yeah. The regeneration energy is not kind to the desktop wallpaper.
No, not at all.
Yes.
I'd be mad about that. No wonder she keeps throwing her doctors out the door.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, you could go all day, but just some of the things about the characteristics. You do have sort of the literal ones. I remember she didn't like Clara. Mm-hmm. And I think it was just because, she sensed something that was about the impossible girl. And then I guess with the 11th Doctor introduced the input, for, put your hands into the TARDIS console. Because both the 11th and 12th Doctor had it. Which is very, Battlestar Galactica with the Cylons also seemed to have that, and whereas very... put your hands in a telepath or whatever they called it. And then also the fact that she sort of changes, like in the grand scheme of things, we have not seen a lot of the TARDIS outside of the control room. And
yes, that's true.
Some of the classic ones we've watched, you've seen some rooms.
You see like the wardrobe room in one of them.
Yeah, or the companions room or whatever. But even in New Who, there was the Journey to the Center of the TARDIS. Is that the name of the episode with 11 and Clara, where... Actually, I forget the story. But anyway, I do remember you get to see the library and the Time War, and Clark kind of gets to explore the TARDIS.
And we see the library again. This is classic, but the 7th Doctor, right before he comes out and gets shot, we see him sitting in the library, don't we?
I think it's the control room, but his control room is like a lounge or what would you call it? I don't know, a gentleman's room. I don't know.
Okay.
You know,
So you think that's
sitting
that's
room.
the actual control room?
Yeah, it's kind of there, and then it's very big control room. It's sort of like there's the actual consoles in the middle, and the
okay, and so the
lounge.
lounge. Okay,
because it has the phonograph or the record player, whatever it is.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they talk about different things.
There's a pool in
There's
the library.
the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Yep. In fact, River falls into the swimming pool.
Oh, that's true.
At
I
one
forgot
point.
about that. Yeah.
When they rescue her. So.
Actually, we're about to watch that episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't like those. I don't like.
I know
the
Weeping
silence.
Angels. Yes.
No, the silence.
No, Weeping Angels.
It's the silence where she falls out the window. She jumps out the
Right.
window, and the TARDIS catches her, and she falls into the swimming pool.
You're
That's
right.
the
You're
one
right.
I'm talking
Sorry,
about.
you're right. Because and then the one I'm talking about, the TARDIS appears and catches her as she jumps out the window of the spaceship.
Oh right,
Yeah.
yes.
She does a lot of jumping into the TARDIS.
Into the swimming pool, apparently. I'd
anyway.
forgotten about that off that ship. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, because I think that, like you said, there's just in the new Who, there's a time when Matt's final episode, or the 11th final episode, when they go to Trenzalore, and he's like, "Oh, the TARDIS is fighting me. Doesn't want to go. It knows what we're doing." And then he just ends up like turning off the gravity, and it lands on Trenzalore. But it's and things like that where it's. And then I'm trying to remember what was the emergency protocol. I'm trying to remember. It was with the 11. Was that when he was dying? I'm hand quoting that with the the beginning of River. Like the beginning of that version of River where he's dying and
Oh, right,
he has the
yeah.
emergency protocol and like appear as like past companions and he's like, oh boy.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if that was the
what is
TARDIS
that?
kind of talking to
we
him.
shot Hitler or something like
Yeah.
that. The name of that one. Yeah,
Let's Kill Hitler.
Let's Kill Hitler. Is that what it?
Mm.
So yeah, definitely is a decision maker in this, without a doubt. And as she says when she appears in The Doctor's Wife, she talks about how she chose him.
Right.
There's the whole thing. The whole idea is that he stole the TARDIS and ran away. And she's like, no, I stole the Time Lord and ran away. Which I really like. They chose each other, and it's all very romantic, isn't it? It's like us.
Well, like, what do you? I mean, not to get. Well, we can get deep into it, but like, what do you think the TARDIS is? I mean, like, we're led to believe through various New Who stuff that it's just a gray kind of cylinder in its neutral form. And I mean, and the inside, of course, you have this sort of classic console room that you start with the default settings that look like the first Doctor's. But I mean, like, it's a time machine. I get that, but I mean, what do you think? Like this whole heart of the TARDIS and is it like just an AI, artificial intelligence with a conscience, or how do you think about it, if at all?
Yeah,
like fantasy or sci-fi, or what do you think? Of
I think of it more in fantasy terms, like Excalibur or Thor's hammer. There's, it is inanimate, but also sentient, which I appreciate. Is not a thing.
Right.
That's a complete oxymoron. So yeah, I suppose some sort of AI a little bit. I don't think of her as AI because I think of it in fantasy terms.
Right. No,
so yeah, like Excalibur. That's what I'm going with.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it was. I mean, and I don't know how deep you want to get into it, but I'm not like the way the Doctor treats the TARDIS, which is I don't know. I suppose it's boys with their toys, but I remember the line about in School Reunion. What's it called? When Sarah Jane and Rose meet, and they're comparing notes, and Sarah Jane's like, "Does he still like stroke the TARDIS?" And Rose is like, "Yeah, come on, get a room, you two."
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, she is the constant companion.
Right.
I mean, she's always there. And she, again, particularly in New Who, regenerates when he does. And so they share something that none of his companions can touch.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that there's a mutual affection. And, of course, they've been through all of it. The 1,000 years or wherever we are at this point. That they've been together.
So, like I said, it's interesting, and I mean, gender, however you want to deal with it. But now that with 13, does that change any dynamics or not.
I think it'll be interesting to see
Whether she talks to the TARDIS.
yes, and whether the relationship
Does she stroke
changes.
the console or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no reason why not, because again, it's not a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
It's a very real.
It's a highly flirtatious friendship.
Yes, yeah, and that can be gender fluid on the Doctor's part, and I mean, making the TARDIS, giving her a her title is not in any way.
I think that would be funny if, like, at some point, the 13th Doctor, like, oh, this is my ship. He's really good. And they're like, our ship's called She. He's like, it regenerated.
Yeah. They needed to have some guy other than Bradley Walsh. I don't know.
So, I mean, so Doctor's Wife, like you said, she and it's been a while since I've watched it, but, I mean, because she's sort of trying to be what it's like to be, in humanoid form and talk and move and all that stuff, but that they do make a good team because they have to build their own TARDIS, and, it is interesting that they are a team, and they've always been a team, of course. And so I think it is interesting where, and like you said, she tells him that she always takes him to where, he should be going, or,
Yeah. Yeah, again, not necessarily where he wants to go. Seriously, they never do make it to Barcelona.
Dogs with no noses.
Yes. So, yeah.
So, let's talk, I mean, we talked briefly, so the interiors of the TARDIS. Do you have a particular favorite interior of the TARDIS?
No, not necessarily. I mean, they tend to be relatively similar, at least in my mind.
Okay.
To me, though, in my head, Capaldi's is more sort of silver and chrome-ish, whereas Matt Smith's was a little bit warmer.
Well, he had two.
Yeah.
So he had the I mean, this, I'm not trying to, but he had the whimsical one originally, which I kind of like. I mean, it is very whimsical, maybe too whimsical, with ketchup and mustard and ping pong balls and all that, for the controls and shower head, But I like it. I think it's cute. I mean, this is a shake up from anything we've seen before, certainly. But then he sort of, in the dark era of after losing Amy and Rory, when he first in the Christmas special introduces that version of Clara, it turns on and kind of looks more like the 12th Doctor's with sort of the, as you say, chrome and the spinny thing on top. And
yeah. I mean, the basics stay the same.
Yeah, you have the thing in the middle and it goes up and down.
Yep, and the doors to the left in my head. Most of the time, anyway.
True. Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, they mostly stay the same. I think they've obviously gotten much better at it. Thinking about it versus the first Doctor and
the circles
and all the circles, yeah, which remind me a little bit of Dalek circles. I mean, I feel like they did that a lot. So it's nice for the change up and the better set, if you will, and the levels. That's relatively new.
Yeah, because I think was it 11 was the first time they kind of concentrated on the bottom or the below section.
Yeah.
With maintenance and all that or whatever.
Yeah, but then the upstairs balcony area.
I think that's more 11 had it, but I think 12 used it more because there's books and chalkboards were up there.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, it's getting more elaborate. It'll be really interesting. I like the fact that they've established that the TARDIS regenerates with, obviously regenerating is not exactly what happens, but that the regeneration energy sort of blows it apart because it does give them an opportunity to freshen it up and see what's going to happen.
Personalize it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the 13th Doctor's TARDIS is going to look like.
I mean, this is an original thought, obviously, but I mean, you could say that TARDIS is trying to reflect her new Doctor, or the new version. Now, like, not in tens. I mean, it's familiar, but I don't know, like, what it's almost like, sort of like wooden, these wooden shaved trees or wooden aspect branches around the console area, and it's, I don't know what it's trying to say, really, if anything. It's unusual, but obviously it's very one of the most familiar ones, because, I mean, through 9 and 10 was several years. But I think with the 11th, the whimsical one, that's very 11th Doctor, and then I think when he lost Amy Roy, the darker aspect, of course, was sort of his, not darker per se, but his aspect. And then I think with 12, sort of maintaining that too, he's sort of a darker Doctor. I mean, if there's more to it, but just if light and dark are the only choices, that was sort of reflected him as well, and with the chalkboard and the library books, or with the library, and that was sort of he's trying to be a little more old school about things, and so...
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting how the new TARDIS interior will reflect the new Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm trying to think about what kind of Doctor
she's going to be pink.
The
whole thing's going to be pink, darling.
Because it's a girl. Yeah, it better not be pink. I don't think anybody would be happy with that. with a little canopy.
Lots of curtains.
Unicorns everywhere. Oh, that's terrible.
It is.
That's horrific.
So, it being a ship and tool for a vehicle or whatever.
You're a tool.
I often wonder, and there's more things to compare it to, but obviously this is what I'm going to compare it to. Doctor Who's not like Star Trek, where Star Trek, theoretically, they try to make everything make sense, even if it doesn't. Like, this is what this button does. This is what this warp drive does. So, like, the TARDIS consoles, does it necessarily make sense, or is it just random smashing button? There's usually a door button, right? There's usually a door button.
Okay.
And that's pretty on point, because how do you open the doors? Beyond that, there's a screen, usually. The scanner, or whatever.
You can slide in and out, yep.
Yeah. But beyond that, it's just...
Yeah, again, River seems to have a pretty decent handle on what's what.
Mm-hmm.
But
now, as a child of the TARDIS, there's another interesting aspect of what that all means. Because she is... I don't know what it means to be conceived on a TARDIS, but whatever that is, that's what River has. So she has a unique relationship with the TARDIS.
Yes, yeah. And clearly got, she gets the regeneration and all of that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. At least for one go-round.
Right.
And, so yeah, maybe it's a little bit more innate.
The magical.
Although River Song does say that someone taught her to fly.
Right.
The TARDIS.
Well, the first rule is.
Well, this is true. This is true. But she says it to the Doctor, and the Doctor says something like, oh, it was me, and she's like, no, you were busy. Somebody else did it,
Well, I did like this as nothing. Well, it's TARDIS related. I did like the revelation in the Husbands of River Song that apparently she steals the TARDIS all the time when he's mid-adventure and then brings it back and he never notices that it's been gone.
Yeah, I kind of like that as an idea. I really do want a River Song spinoff because I want to see her stealing the whole thing. It just, yeah. But yeah, she seems to be much more, in the way that the TARDIS didn't like Clara, it seems to clearly favor River Song. Mm-hmm. And whether it is a parental, a little bit of parental love or whatever.
Yeah, I was trying to think of companion reactions, which would be more new. I don't know if I ever thought of anything classic, but maybe. But anyway, because Rose, I don't know, it was played because ultimately Rose had the heart of the TARDIS inside of her.
Yep.
So she certainly has a special relationship that way. But then, I don't know, Martha and Donna, can't really think of anything. And then, of course, Donna would have been interesting, consider whether the TARDIS knew that she would be Dr. Donna or not.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And then, of course, they have that all hands on deck moment.
Oh, Journey's End, yeah.
Right before she turns into Dr. Donna, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, with it. Jax has the one that goes back and forth.
Bless.
Well, but I did like that explanation, that the TARDIS is actually meant to be a multi-person vehicle.
Yes. Yeah, good point.
I mean, he did steal it, of course, with his granddaughter, but still, that it was meant to be, it's a ship with a crew, and it's not just one Time Lord.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd be interested in, and maybe that's why we've got 3 companions.
That's true. Maybe it'll actually fly better this time.
Yeah, we'll see. It won't make that whoosh, whoosh, whoosh noise when it lands. It's not supposed to do that,
But I like the noise.
Bless. Exterior has changed, which we see in the film. The day of the, what is it? The one with the 1st and the 12th.
Yes. And the war, to be fair, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And even Twice Upon a Time, you notice the wee TARDIS for the first Doctor and the sort of... Yeah, there's, and I can't remember, is it Clayton? Anyway, there's one, I'm sure there's several, but there's one person on Twitter I follow who's very... He's not obnoxious about it, but he's one who knows the different TARDISes, and we'll be like, the windows are different. They don't match.
Ah.
Which is fine. I think that level of detail is always good. It's always if you're like, take it too far, that's when you can see a problem. But, it's kind of cool to be like, because the one I have, and I don't know which TARDIS, the one I'm holding right now, I assume it's the 11th Doctor's. But, some of them will have sort of the white in the windows with the triangles and, various placements of things. Like, I don't know I think this is Matt's because it has that St. John's emblem. I don't know if they all have that one.
All right. I sort of feel like, at least with the new Who, I sort of felt like they did.
Mm-hmm. And then the shade of blue, because I think if I remember correctly, 10's was a bit darker. TARDIS blue. Okay. Obviously, it's not TARDIS blue. They can't all be TARDIS blue. But anyway, I guess, it's a blue TARDIS. But anyway.
Yeah, technically, they really can.
And then Matt's is a little bit lighter. And then I don't know the 12s. I mean, you obviously have to see them all at the same time in order to figure it out.
Yeah, that would be interesting. The Ward Doctors
had like scorch marks or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and at one point, which, is it Rose that goes missing or Clara? It's Clara, where they put where's Clara?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's when she dies.
Yeah.
There's the painting.
Yeah, they did all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I sort of feel like you should be better at this because you know the difference between all of the Enterprises.
Well, those are different ships. This is technically the same one.
Uh-huh.
And then I think they really played with the telephone inside with the 11th and 12 more than they ever had before.
Yes. Well, and of course the 11th calls during the 12th iteration.
Yes.
Which we talked about many times and in disapproving tones.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I mean, the whole idea of the police box, again, I mean, it's not native to our culture, but what little we've seen on it in Doctor Who documentaries and whatever about the history of the actual police box, and that, of course, there were multiple colors, and I forget what they are in Scotland, but it's something not blue at all. That, like, you're looking at it like, well, that's not right, but of course, like, that's an actual police box. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's not the Doctor Who one. But anyway. And
I can't imagine that they would be terribly big. I mean, with the one that we went to in
Earl's
London,
Court,
yeah. It was narrow, wasn't it? Yeah. Narrower.
Well, there was the skinny one, but then there was, I think they're different sizes too.
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, it's a call box. The point is to just call the cops.
Yeah. What I get is there's a police box. It's basically instead of having stations everywhere, you just get dropped off, and this is just sort of like your cubicle. You could come in, go inside, there'd be like regulations or rules or log books, and then you can call back to the station, then you can keep on your patrol or whatever.
Ah, okay.
So it's sort of it's like a mini police station.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it definitely says public call.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe use the phone too. Well, you could call an emergency or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm sure you listeners know
the sticker says, police telephone, free for use of public. Advice and assistance obtainable immediately. Officers and cars respond to all calls. Pull to open. Which
I feel like that would be a pub quiz thing. Bonus point. Can you name what's exactly on?
Yeah, and I mean I can read it, but I don't know if I can remember it. But yeah.
Well, and Bill makes the point that you are the help desk, or you are that's what it's on your TARDIS.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. So, final thoughts. Ultimate.
Yeah.
Do we like it? Do we think maybe they should just get rid of it for the next?
I definitely think first female Doctor, get rid of the TARDIS.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's shake things up a little bit. Let's shake it up.
I was trying to think of like what would be the like modern thing. You'd be like, police boxes. They're so 1960s. Well, what's like a 2018 thing that like sounds cool, but like it would be such flash in the pan, it won't even exist by next year or something,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can't even go with the red telephone boxes anymore because those are practically obsolete.
Yeah. I guess it's also British, so I would not know what current British culture is.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think, and I certainly can't do 2018, but like. I don't know. I was going to say like the London Eye because that was supposed to be flash in the pan. Mm-hmm. They just built it for the...
But see, isn't that the thing, not to go on a tangent, but like the Eiffel Tower is this huge eyesore, and they're like, all the Parisians hate it, and then like, that's not the thing.
Now it's a thing. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it.
Well, because I think the thing about the police box, and again, maybe it's just a rationalization because we know it 50 years plus, But, like, I think it's important to be something you could get inside, as we'll talk about in a second. You know, if you changed the chameleon circuit into something else, I feel like it'd still have to be something you can get inside. You know, it can't just be like, it's a lamp post. Well, you can't get inside a lamp. You know, it has to be something, yeah.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah, a car. A little coupe mini or something.
Yeah. It's an obnoxious modern car or something. That would be, yeah.
Yeah, the Mini Coupe's pretty obnoxious. Especially if it's got the Union Jack on it.
That would be.
Working right into the...
obnoxious.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll send our suggestions up to Chris Chibnall. And...
That's right. Yeah, that would be a good poll. What would be either your best suggestion of changing the police box, or what would be your worst suggestion?
I can see this showing up on Twitter very soon, can't I? Right, before this gets out of hand, before we jump in the TARDIS library, this might be the time to talk about the teaser.
Right, and no reason to dwell on it too much, because A, it was short, and B, in a couple of weeks we'll probably have a trailer or whatever.
Yeah, this was definitely not a trailer. This was just a teaser. Nobody says words.
I just think it was cool. You get more, it's a companion focus, obviously.
Yes.
On, I don't even know. I have to start learning names. Ryan, I think, is one of them. Is the young man, and I don't know the other two. So, but anyway, it's like Man Dip. I know her name, real name.
Yes, but not what the character's name is.
And then
yeah.
Bradley Walsh.
Bradley Walsh.
As Bradley Walsh.
Yes. Yeah. I have a feeling it's liable to be like that.
But it was interesting. I mean, if that's a tease, and you don't know whether it means something. You know, this is always the geek thing about looking over and over-analyzing, but, like, is that their character that, you know, the girl has a bunch of friends, she's a regular young lady, you know, fun and, you know, lots of friends, and the guy's kind of chilling by himself, and then Bradley Walsh is sort of the sad guy at the pub.
Reading a Beano, though.
Yeah. Well, it turned into a Beano.
What was it before?
I forget. But, yeah, it was something. Because that was the whole Twitter thing, like, it's the same Beano that, like, the 11th Doctor's reading in another episode.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
So.
Well, which basically just means they had that prop lying around.
And then you finally get the 13th Doctor. And to me, it's always...
But the idea being that she is regenerating the things that she passes by, which is quite interesting. I mean, the girl gets a whole nother pizza.
Yeah. Is that how they make pizza in Britain with, like, the whole leaf, like, celery or whatever that... Like, I've never seen, like, a whole green pieces on...
Oh, yeah.
It's all usually just, like, baked into or whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes. Okay. Depends on what you get, but yeah could do.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, and you know, again, overanalyzing, it's like, does that mean 13 is going to sort of like regenerate these people's lives? Will they all have these issues that she's going to help them with?
Well, and it all felt very magical and fantasy orientated rather than sci-fi.
Right.
Which was appealing to me, but it'll be interesting to see if that's going to follow through. Is it going to feel more like the fantasy episodes, or is it going to continue to switch it up? You know,
and it was kind of weird to see the 13th Doctor because I've only seen her in pictures, and like that was video. Like, you know, it's kind of weird that because we've seen her in the Regeneration. We saw her in her first teaser announcing Jodie Whittaker, but none of those was wearing, you know, the 13th Doctor quote unquote uniform. This was the first one, like. She's moving around, and you know it's kind of weird to see her. And then, especially having just finished Broadchurch Series 3 with Jodie, it is kind of weird to see her as the Doctor. I mean, we saw obviously we saw the Regeneration, but still,
you just want to continue seeing her cry in Broadchurch.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. But oh man, fantastic! I love Broadchurch.
We may just have a random Broadchurch episode soon.
We should do. Yeah, that would be fun because that's practically Doctor Who.
Yeah,
I mean it has.
Everyone.
3 doctors and a companion. And a queen.
That's right.
That's separate. So yeah, there you go. That's what we're doing at some point soon, is we're going to talk about Broadchurch. So you got that to look forward to. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Right, so into the library.
So, speaking of chameleon circuits, there was one time that the Doctor actually fixed the chameleon circuit on the TARDIS, and we actually almost...
Well-ish.
And we almost got an episode without a police box TARDIS.
That's right, yes.
It was just at the beginning of the end, but everything else was no police box inside. And this was, of course, with the 6th Doctor. And this was, of course, Attack of the Cybermen, which premiered 5th January 1985.
That's my mummy's birthday.
I was 4 years old. All right. Can you read us the synopsis from TARDIS.wikia?
I would love to. While trying to fix the TARDIS's chameleon circuit, the Sixth Doctor returns to Foreman's Yard on Totter's Lane in 1985, where he meets his old enemies, the Cybermen. They have come from the future to change history by sending Halley's comet crashing into Earth. Lytton, last seen working with the Daleks, is involved in the Cybermen's plot. Is Lytton working for the Cybermen himself or someone else? Da, da, da.
But anyway, so again, this is the only episode that I know of that he actually, the Doctor, fixes or briefly fixes the chameleon circuit. Now this is the
Well, and again, it's still ish because it doesn't. It's the idea behind the chameleon circuit is that they choose things that will blend in with the surroundings and not stand out. And that is not exactly the way it works in this episode.
It turns into 3 things. I remember 2 of them. I'm not going to guess the third one. The first one was a chest of drawers, or I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. Then it was a organ.
Yep.
And then I can't remember the third thing. Was it a clock or something? I can't remember.
Maybe.
It was something.
Yeah.
I just looked at it on TARDIS.wiki and I've already forgotten. But anyway. But again, my problem with all those, it's nothing you can walk into. So basically you just walked behind it and you're like, I'm in the TARDIS. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's a little bit more suspension of disbelief than one might prefer.
Right.
Although we do get, a moment of the Doctor playing the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Which can't have made her terribly happy, I don't imagine. But there you go.
That's right. So, I mean, what do you think of the idea? I mean, what do you think of the idea of it sort of spritzing? Like, what would that be if the TARDIS just randomly changed into random things?
I like it as an idea. Mm-hmm. I like it a lot as an idea. Mm-hmm. I think if you did it now, I would want to revolt.
Right.
Because now she's established. You can't muck about with it now.
So 50 plus years, but at 35, you were like...
No, if they had the budget to actually make that happen in the beginning, that would be a cool thing that would carry on. Right. That would be interesting. Now she's too iconic. Don't muck about with her. Which
I think, I don't know. And this is me, listeners, maybe your opinion. It doesn't help the Sixth Doctor, right? Who's already not... Because this is only, I believe, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. This is his second serial, because they just come from Twin Dilemma when he first, regenerated and tried to kill Perry.
Yes, because she talks about the fact that he's still recovering from the regeneration,
You're still mad, Doctor!
Oh, gosh.
This serial, I think, firmly implanted Perry as her favorite companion of all time.
I just can't cope with her.
Was it the dress? The voice?
Yeah, first of all, she dressed like she was just coming out of an Olivia Newton-John workout video. And it's the whine. It's the constant whine. Because,
the content or the writing, well, it's a little... Anyway. But there's stuff there. I mean, she's, telling Doctor... This would be my... Doctor, you're not feeling well. You just regenerated. You say a lot of weird things.
I got some concerns about this.
But instead it comes out like, Doctor...
Can't cope. Spent the entire time scowling at the television because I can't cope. Mm-hmm.
So again, with me, and like I said, not everyone, Sixth Doctor already kind of sort of peed me off when he regenerated, like his first second, when he's like, change, not a moment too soon. I'm like, what was wrong? What was wrong with the Fifth Doctor? And he's like, at the Twin Dilemma, I'm the Doctor. You'd better get used to it. I'm like, well, no, I'm not used to it. Why are you being such a cock about it? And then, then this one, it's like, I'm changing the TARDIS. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Can I just have a moment where you went literally in about 30 seconds from saying I'm peed off to why you gotta be such a cock about it?
So obviously Sixth
Your
Doctor...
language decisions are always fascinating, darling.
So the Sixth Doctor remains not my favorite.
And add Perry to the mix, and it's just, not
Makes Mel look good, doesn't she?
It does, yeah. And I don't mind Mel too much, because, again, it's a bit of a familiar face for me. But, more Cybermen.
Yeah. 80 Cybermen, as we say.
Which is fine.
And this was short. This is apparently, it's 2:45-minute episodes, which is rare. And not until modern day, or New Who. I think we have to think of a new word for New Who, by the way, because, 2009 was a long time ago.
I still like New Who, classic Who, because it's not
Chris
about...
Eccleston did not just come out 2 years ago.
No. I mean, Chris Eccleston hasn't come out at all, as far as I know. I think he's married. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, I think because it's like BC and AD.
Right, which they changed eventually.
Yeah, but again, what they changed it to is BCE, before Common Era and Common Era.
So then we need to change it from...
No, because still, Common Era was 2,000 years ago. Mm. I mean, we don't have a whole lot in common with the people from 2,000 years ago.
Oh, I thought you were saying us, because I thought that'd be an awkward way to... we have Doctor Who. It's like Breakfast at Tiffany's, darling.
So my point being that calling it New Who with the delineation of, between 8 and 9, I think you can stick with it as New Who. I
mean, that's why and I'm not trying to be cute, that's why I kind of like NU, capital WHO, because it's in more of an affectation than an actual label. It's not NEW, because it's not new that much anymore, but it's New Who, because that's what we call it.
New Who.
Yeah, I like that. That's how I always do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So when you picture the words in your head, go ahead. No, that's fine.
Cool. So, but at the end, the Doctor, even though fiddling with the chameleon circuit, I think it just reverts back by itself to the police box.
Yeah, she says no. No, thank you. I've got my look going.
I've tried it, and no, thank you.
Yeah, because there aren't any doors.
I'm open to changes, Doctor. I tried it, right?
Tried it. Hated it.
Hated it. But
also
I tried
get rid
it for
of Perry.
You.
Also get rid of Perry. I have no doubt that the TARDIS said that at some point. Right. So what are we going to talk about next week, darling?
Well, darling, we've talked about the TARDIS. The other main characters, other than the Doctor, of course, are the various companions.
Yep.
But I guess one question that some might ask is what happens to the companions after they leave the TARDIS? That doesn't involve memory wipe, dying, or some such. But if the folks, the ones who actually get to live...
My guess is not very much,
exactly. But the ones who actually leave the TARDIS, whether it's a Martha in the New Who era or a Sarah Jane in the classic era, whatever, that actually lived to tell the day, how does it affect them? How would it affect you? And we'll kind of focus on one or two or three or four or five companions and maybe talk about...
We just have to count up how many survived.
Exactly. And
go from there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So beyond the TARDIS.
That's right.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, make a little swoop when you're editing this. It needs to be beyond the TARDIS. Swoop.
Na, na, na.
But swoop, too.
Okay. Well, until then, darling, you're my favorite thing to travel with in all of time and space.
Okay, I think you're reaching there a little bit, darling.
You're now a chef of drawers.
This is BBC Television.